Join me in painting an easy, cozy winter scene using watercolor. In this painting, we will create smoke rising from the chimney, adding a sense of warmth to a quiet winter scene. This is the sketch needed for this painting. You can copy the sketch onto your paper. Next, I wet half of the paper as you see in the video. But be careful not to wet inside the sketch area. Once the paper is wet, I use raw sienna to paint the lower part of the sky. I'm simply applying the paint and letting it to spread. After that, I clean my brush and move on to Crimson Lake, applying it to the top right side of the paper. Now, without washing the brush, I pick up ultramarine. The Crimson Lake already on the brush mixes with ultramarine to create a violet shade which I apply to the top left side of the paper. Now I move the board in different directions so the pigments interact with each other without fully blending into one another. This creates a beautiful dramatic sky. When creating a dramatic sky, the paper needs to be wetted a little more generously than usual to allow the pigments to move and interact. At the same time, the surface should not be pools of water, because if there is too much water on the paper, the moment you tilt the board, the excess pigment will collect near the masking tape and be wiped away, creating a faded sky. Now I elevate the board and allow the excess pigment to collect near the masking tape, which is then wiped off using a waistcloth. After that, I apply raw sienna around the sketched area to define the edges of the sketch. After defining the edges of the sketch, I found there is some excess pigment on the paper, so I elevate the board again. Some little drops of pigment collected near the sketched area, as you see in the video. I use a damp brush to lift them. A damp brush works like a hungry brush ready to absorb any extra pigment easily. Next, while the paper is still wet, I use a mix of cobalt green and Payne's grey in a thick consistency to paint the evergreen trees behind the cabins. After painting the evergreen trees, while the paper is still wet, next we have to create the smoke coming out of the chimney. For that, we have to lift the pigment while the paper is still wet. In this video, my hand hides the lifting process, but I will try to explain it clearly so you can do it exactly the same way I do. I use a clean damp brush and move it over the wet paint in a curvy motion, and I'm repeating the process in the same spot to lift the pigment gradually. After lifting the pigment, I wash the brush, re-dampen it, and continue lifting the pigment. You should be careful that your brush should be damp but not wet. If there is too much water on the brush, it will pull the pigment and create a cauliflower effect, which we do not want here. You do not need to lift the pigment until it becomes completely white. So lift just enough amount of pigment so the smoke is visible but not paper white. I want you to lift the pigment in a curvy motion rather than straight or sharp crooked lines, because this will help the smoke look more natural and flowing. Next, I add the chimney using indigo pigment. Now we are going to paint the foreground. For that, first I wet the foreground area, then I use all three sky colors to paint it. I'm applying Crimson Lake on the right side, Raw Sienna on the left side, and Payne's Grey closer to the viewer. The sky colors are much richer compared to the foreground colors, and this is done purposefully to create harmony in the painting and keep the scene feeling more natural and balanced. Now I sprinkle a little salt in the foreground. At this point, the background is completely dry, so I am ready to paint the cabins. Using the mix of burnt sienna with a bit of ultramarine and using a lighter value of this mix, I paint the front wall of the cabin that is visible to the viewer. Next, using a darker value of the same mix, I paint the side walls of the cabin as you see in the video. This value change helps to define the shape of the cabin without adding too many details. Now I'm using indigo pigment to add shadows under the roof where it meets the walls. This helps to separate the roof from the wall. The final step is to paint the cast shadow of the cabin on the snow. I'm assuming the light source is coming from the left side, so the shadow falls on the right side. So I'm using a light value of indigo to paint the cast shadow. Once the paper is completely dry, gently scrub off the salt that we sprinkled on the foreground. And that's it. We have completed a beautiful winter scene. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you in another video. Until then, take care and bye-bye from Prema.